Okay, as usual, let's get warmed up. Okay, we'll just still be moving our joints and getting our heart rate up. So marching on the spot or pumping our heels to start. Okay, and then starting from the neck again as we usually do. So kind of tuck our chin down, bring our chest down, suck our stomach in a little bit, breathing out slowly. Okay, and then doing the opposite, pushing our stomach out, chest up, shoulders back, and neck up as well. Okay, let's do it 3 times. So breathing out, okay, and breathing in. Okay, maybe one last time, breathing out, okay, and breathing in. Okay, and let's do rotation next. Okay, so turning, still pumping our heels, looking left and right first. Okay, and then looking left and right, but also turning our shoulders and upper back a little bit. Okay, and let's try to look this way, shoulders turn and turn our hips as well. Okay, and same thing on the other side. Okay, and lastly, let's stop our feet for a second. We're going to turn our head, shoulders, hips, and also our feet as well. And we're just going to reach side to side, turning the entire body maybe 1 or 2 times on each side. Okay, maybe just one last time. Okay, and then we're going to tilt your head sideways, moving our shoulders kind of up and down, feeling the stretch on the top of the shoulders, side of the neck. Okay, and repeat on the other side as well. Okay, and then just go back to neutral and just move our shoulders a couple of times backwards and move our shoulders a couple of times forward. Okay, and then moving the entire arm front to back. Let that person in. Okay, and let's go front to back. Okay, let's focus on reaching backwards a little more. So try to reach back, hold for a second or two, or half a second to a second. Okay, reaching back. Okay, maybe one more time. Okay, a little harder now. Let's try to reach back and just try to glide the hands a little high up. Okay, and coming back down. Okay, so maybe just 2 or 3 times to your own limit. Okay, and let's do the opposite, kind of reaching up. Okay, and repeating, try to reach a little high, bring our chest up as well. Give me one last time. We're just gonna hold up top and gonna push up to ceiling, side bending for our spine a little bit. Okay, while keeping our feet moving a little bit as well. Okay, and come back there. Okay, one more. Just gonna reach down as well and also side bend. Okay, so deep breath in as we reach down and back and push our elbow up to the ceiling. Okay, shaking out. Okay, we're gonna rotate your shoulders a little bit. So we're gonna put on glasses or pretend we're putting on glasses. Pull the glasses apart, chuck it away, and then return to do the same thing. This elbow stays in place as the hands are moving in and out. Okay, opposite, reaching the armpits, okay, and then rotating back out, okay, and repeating the cycle. Okay, rotating the entire arm, including the hands. Okay, and then just focus on just rotating the wrist a few more times. Okay, try to move the entire hand. So try to almost wiggle your fingers. Try to pull your fingers down, out, kind of backwards and back. Okay, and same thing in the other direction. Okay, as big of a circle as you can with your fingers. Okay, and just bend the ends of the fingers, side to side. Okay, shaking out. Okay, and let's move our hips. Okay, so going just a hip circle all the way around. Relaxing the upper back. Okay, same thing, just other direction. Okay, pushing our hips back, feeling the stretch behind the legs. Okay, this is called hip hinge. So bending from the hips, not from the spine, a little bit from the knees. Okay, let's go to the squat. So bend, same thing, but bend the knees a little bit more this time, sitting on a tall bar stool, keeping our knees over our feet. Okay, and let's have one leg forward, one leg back, and we're just gonna push the hips forward and back a couple of times, stretching the front of our hips. Okay, and just switch legs, same thing. Okay, and stretch the inside of our legs by getting our feet a little wider than our shoulders. Okay, pushing our hips back. Okay, but bending one knee. Okay, you should feel the stretch on the inside of the straight leg. Okay, and coming back in. Okay, and just bend the knees a couple of times. Okay, let's bring our hips a little high up as well. Okay, and then just go into the ankles, going back and forth a couple of times. Excuse me. Okay, side to side a couple of times. Okay, let's test our balance, standing on one foot, circling one foot. Okay, same thing on the other side. Okay, and lastly, wiggle our toes, scratch the floor, lift them up. Okay, lift everything. Sorry, don't lift the big toe, but lift everything else. Keep the other toes on the ground and just lift just the big toe. Okay, see if you can spread them out a little bit as much as we can. Okay, and try to almost imagine your feet like hands and try to cup the floor as you feel the muscles in your arch engaging a little bit as well. Okay, and shake everything out. That was our warm-up. So kind of a 7-minute warm-up. So let's do our 10 minutes segment. As usual, you're gonna hear a beep. So every 30 seconds, we're gonna do a little movement. And then after that, we'll take a just march on the spot while I kind of explain the next movement. Okay, so hopefully you can still hear the beep. Okay, that sounds okay. Okay, so let's just get moving a little bit fast. So first, we'll just march on the spot for about maybe a minute first. Okay, try to keep everything a little bit looser. Okay, kind of rotate from the shoulders. Also a little bit of rotation for the spine as well. Okay, so let's do the first movement. Let's just exaggerate it. So just try to exaggerate the spine movement, the shoulder movement, and even the legs. Okay, so just walk like a cartoon character pretty much. Okay, so try to just exaggerate a little bit more than usual. Okay, it's kind of just lifting legs up, swinging through the shoulders and the hands. Okay, I'm going to do this for 30 seconds. Okay, and then we're going to go back to the marching. Okay, if you really kind of play around, you can reach a little higher if you want to. You can try to reach your feet a little wider if you want as well. You just kind of explore where you maybe make it how to make it easier, how to make it harder. Okay, and just back to marching, and maybe get the pace up a little bit if you prefer. Okay, but try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Okay, so next one, let's just try moving in different directions. So we're just going to do forward and back, side to side a little bit, diagonals a few times, and the other diagonals a few times. Okay, just you can start any direction. Okay, but just get moving a little bit in different directions. Okay, so maybe start off front to back. Okay, if you like it, you can go side to side. Okay, diagonally move. Okay, make sure you're actually moving diagonally and not just kind of turning yourself and moving forward and back. Okay, and the other diagonal. Okay, and if you feel like it, you can start to pick up the pace one more time. Okay, so next one, let's do keep it simple. Let's go walk in a circle, but facing kind of forward at the same time. So just move in a circle for like 15 seconds and then circle the other way. All the meanwhile, we're facing the same direction. Just exploring different ways to move. Okay, so let's just try to move in a circle. Okay, and let's get ready to switch direction, going the other way around. Kind of practicing moving backwards as well. Okay, and just back to marching on the spot. Okay, so next one, let's try the same thing, but this time let's lower our stance a little bit. So you'll be a little bit of a squatting stance. So one of your feet sink down a little bit, whatever height you feel comfortable. And let's do the circle again, okay, just in a squatting stance. Okay, so you can practice just getting, using your quad muscle. Okay, so a little wider first, okay, and we're just still going kind of in a circle, okay, just a little lower. So those quads might start to fatigue, but let's do our best. If it feels like it's too much, just get yourself a little higher up, okay, and you can always switch direction. Okay, 5 more seconds. So yeah, your thighs might start to get a little tired from that. Okay, so let's work on the back as well. So we'll just be marching, but we'll be kicking one leg up. At the same time, we're also going to bend our elbows as well. So working the flexors of the arm and flexors of the leg. So flexors is anything that closes a joint. So kind of bend the elbows, bend the legs. Okay, so we're just going to be bouncing back and forth, but try to bend the arms, bend the legs. Okay, feel free to make it faster if you want to. Kind of feel the weight kind of shifting side to side. Okay, and 15 more seconds. Okay, last 8 seconds, we try to just go a little faster. Okay, 5 more seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just back to the marching. Okay, so let's work on the side of the hip as well. So we're gonna go bend the elbows up, kicking one leg out. So the half jumping jack pretty much. So using our shoulders and using our side of the hips as well. Okay, and kind of just kicking out slightly, lifting the legs up if you want to, or you can just tap the floor. Okay, high up is a little harder. Okay, and once again, if you feel like it, last maybe 10 to 15 seconds, you can choose to go a little bit quicker. Okay, so this is last 10 seconds, so maybe a little faster. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, and check everything out again. Once again, don't hold tension when you don't need to, so relax those shoulders. Okay, let's work on the back of the hip as well. So we're going to be reaching one leg back at the same time. Instead of reaching sideways, we're just going to be reaching upwards, so stretching yourself out. Okay, and you can alternate between the 2 feet. Okay, so a couple more seconds. Okay, so tap behind and raise the arms in front. Okay, if you can, see if you can actually lift the legs again. Okay, this is roughly 15 seconds if you want. Shorten your range of motion and go a little faster. 6 more seconds or so. Okay, and back to the marching. Okay, so we did the side, we did the back. Let's go the front. So what you're gonna do, instead of raising your arms up, you're gonna have your arms forward, and you're gonna bring it back. At the same time, you try to lift one knee up as much as you can. So you're almost trying to bring your hands and your knees together. Okay, but try to raise the leg up more. Okay, so hands up first, and you're just gonna come down one, and alternate between the 2 legs. Okay, if you want to make it harder, you can try to straighten out the leg instead. So you have to, anything that's further away from the body is harder to lift. So you can try to either have it bent or straight, up to you. Okay, last 5 seconds. If you want, you can go once again a little quicker. Okay, and shaking everything out again. Okay, so now let's try to do practice the squatting again. So I'm gonna strength there, and then also work the calves a little bit. You really reach up and going up on your tiptoes, back to a squat as in you're about to jump, and then actually reach up. If you actually want to jump, you can, but you can also just go on your tippy toes as well. Okay, so reaching there and reaching up. Okay, just going up on our toes. Once again, how low you go is completely up to you. This one probably is the one that makes people the most out of breath, just because we're using the whole body and the big muscles of the legs. Okay, last 10 seconds if you want. You can, once again, shorter motion, quicker if you want to. 2, 1. Okay, and kind of resting a little bit. I think that's the last round for this 10-minute segment. But if not, we can just go a little faster. But let's see if it tells me to do another round. Okay. I don't think it will. So let's try to just go a little slower, just to gradually bring our heart rate back down. Okay, so it does. We actually have it at 30 seconds, but it's like good. It's actually a good thing to slow down gently. Okay, once again, don't hold tension in your shoulders. Okay, try to slow down your breathing a little bit. Okay, and still breathe into your belly when we can. Okay, so that was our first 10 minutes. So we're gonna take a maybe 1 or 2 minute break. Make sure you drink enough water. If you have a big towel, we're gonna use that next. So maybe just take some time to find it. If not, you can use a band, or if nothing else, you can always just use your hands as well. So yeah, let's take maybe 1 more minute break. So right now it's 7:02 or so. Let's start again at 7:03. I'm gonna grab some water as well. I think we have time for maybe 2 more 10 minutes, I think, for today. But we'll see. If not, we can just do 2 and do stretching afterwards as well. Okay, so let's get ready again. Okay, I'm gonna start the timer as well. Okay, so let's start off warming our shoulders first. So you just grab the ends of the band and the ends of the towel. Okay, and you're just going to see if you can get overhead. Okay, and if you feel any pain in your shoulders, don't go push for it. Okay, just do what you can. Okay, but you should for most people, feel a stretch on the front of your chest. But if you feel any pain in your joint, just make it as wide as you can, or just do it without the band. Okay, so let's grab it a little bit closer. We're gonna do what is called a halo. So we're gonna try to kind of go put the towel behind the head and around. So going around your head like a halo. Okay, might be easier if it's a little shorter, or just make it a little shorter. Okay, so also a shoulder warming up. Okay, and feel free to switch directions as well. Okay, and let's grab the ends. Let's start going a little faster again, just slowly getting our heart rate up. Okay, so first one, still gonna be kind of a warm up. It's going to throw the towel behind us and back forward. Okay, so just getting used to using our shoulders. Okay, and a few more seconds of marching, slowly getting our pace up. Okay, and just keep marching as we swing back and forth. Okay, same thing, last 15 seconds if you want. You can make it go a little bit faster. If your elbows kind of bothers you, don't go too high at the elbows. Just keep it low and get the towel over the head. Okay, and shaking out the shoulders again and getting our pace faster. Feel free to switch how you're marching, maybe get your feet a little wider. Okay, so next one, let's grab the towels in one hand. Let's just do a shoulder circle. So we're gonna just swing circles. Okay, but slowly see if you can get it a little wider, a bigger circle. Okay, but start off small circles first. Think of it as moving the wrist, moving maybe the elbows, and moving the shoulders. Okay, so circling maybe just with the wrist first. Okay, now let's try to swing it with the elbows. Okay, and try swinging with the entire arm. Okay, last 5 seconds. If you try to go just a little bit faster, your shoulders feel fine. Okay, and back to the marching. Okay, and we're just gonna get ready to do it on the other side. Okay, you know what? We might as well do that already. So start off once again, kind of swinging just through the wrist. Losing my grip. Okay, and then going through the kind of elbows and rotating actually through the shoulders as well, but kind of feels like your elbows is moving. Okay, and try to go a little bigger. Okay, and start to slowly go a little bit faster if you feel like it. Okay, and getting towels back out. Okay, so we're gonna stop the marching and we're just going into more rotation. Okay, so you're just gonna be pivoting back and forth on your toes. Okay, make sure that you're actually turning and not just twisting your spine or twisting through your hips. Okay, to actually try to move through the legs. Okay, last 15 seconds. See if you can make the movement a little bit smaller, but start to go a little bit faster. Okay, so your feet should have stopped pivoting. Okay, and back to the marching in between. Okay, next one, similar thing, but from low to high. So we're gonna actually do the opposite this time. So we're gonna start off smaller movements. Okay, and then slowly see if you can go into big movement through the shoulders and then big movement through the hips as well. Okay, so start off, anchor your feet there, just with your hands, and then through the shoulders, and then through the feet. Okay, so just do it through even just your wrist if you want to try. Okay, see if you can go into your shoulders. So try to reach beside here, reach beside your hips. Okay, start to turn your lower body a little bit. Maybe bend through the knees a little bit. Okay, last 10 seconds. See if you can go all the way down, all the way up. Okay, so big movements, turning through the feet. Okay, and let's go back to marching. Okay, and next one, do the same thing. So just out of direction. So start off with just the wrist maybe, elbows, shoulders, hips, and then the feet. Okay, so small to big movements. So a couple more seconds. Okay, and getting ready to turn side to side. Okay, starting off just the wrist. Okay, and then the elbows. Okay, turning through the hips a little bit more. So bending down and pushing up. Okay, going through the knees. So you're almost going up and down. Okay, and then try to go turning through the feet. Okay, if you want, you can go big motion a little faster. Okay, and back to the marching. Okay, so next one, let's try to go between the feet, so they have the feet a little wider. I'm going to try to reach. So you can once again start off with the hands first. Okay, and then afterwards you can bend for the hips to reach a little further behind. Okay, and go overhead. Okay, and go from there. Okay, so let's just try just from the hands and the elbows. Okay, start to push the butt back and see you can time the motion so your hands and your hips kind of move coordinated together. Okay, and try to almost see if you can reach back with your towel underneath your feet, and you should feel almost like a stretch in your butt and your hamstring. Okay, and back to the marching. Okay, so next one, instead of when to actually let go of the towel a little bit almost. So when you actually bunch up the towel, you're gonna try to reach up. Okay, you're gonna slam the towel into the ground, pick it up and slam it down again. If it's too much to reach down, maybe get a chair and just throw it on the chair so you don't have to bend all the way down. But let's give that a try. Okay, so going all the way up, snap to the ground, pick it up. Okay, and if you want, you can try to throw it on the ground a little bit more. Okay, make sure you protect your spine when you reach down, so try to bend for the hips, bend for the knees. You can really try to throw your entire body into it, if you want to. Okay, and back to the marching again. Just gonna get the towel back in one piece. Actually, since it's out already, let's try opening up if you're using a towel. And we're just gonna be like drawing a towel and flipping it up and down as quickly as we can. So you probably need to be in a squatting stance just to be stable. Okay, and so let's try once again. So we start off moving with the hands first. Okay, and see if you can start moving your hips a little bit if you want to. Going through the shoulders, so using your entire body. Okay, and even if you want, start to go use your entire body to do this. So kind of something similar to the throwing towel. Yeah. Okay, and back to the marching. Okay, so I think with the last minute, we're just going to gradually slow down again. Okay, so let's just march at regular speed for now. Okay, afterwards we'll slow it down. Okay, a couple more seconds. Okay, we're just going to slow down a little bit. Okay, deep breath in and out again. Okay, and shaking things out. Okay, so right now it's 7:14. Once again, let's take a 1 or 2 minute break. So maybe 7:16 or so. We'll come back and do the last one. This last one we're going to be maybe using a little bit of weights if you have it. Once again, weight could be just water bottle. We're not going to be using heavy weights. We're just going to be moving the weights a little bit faster, so you can train your strength and get the endurance up at the same time by just kind of moving a little more quickly. Okay, but make sure you are getting enough fluids. So I'll be using, these look big, but these are like 5 pounds. So once again, it could be just any sort of weight from any household items or actual dumbbell if you want. Okay, so let's do our last segment. So one first, a little bit, still slowly getting our heart rate up. So just marching relatively slower. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna do almost like uppercuts. So if you're holding some weight, you're just gonna be not moving your feet, and you're just gonna be kind of, imagine just punching someone under the chin pretty much. Okay, so start off slow, and then we're gonna go a little faster after that. Okay, so let's try to kind of bring the weight up. Okay, so start off slower first. When you feel ready, see if you can start to go almost a little bit faster. Okay, so small punches. Okay, and your feet has to work, your core has to work to stabilize yourself. Okay, so last 10 seconds if you want. Try to go a little faster. Kind of feeling the bicep and the shoulders working a little bit more. 2, 1, and so once again, depending on how you do things, you might get different effects. Okay, so next one, let's try punching upwards, and we'll be rotating our body as well. So when you punch up with the right hand, you're gonna reach towards the left, and when you punch up with the left hand, you're gonna reach towards the right. Okay, so once again, big, slow movements first, and afterwards, if you feel like it, you can go a little bit faster. Okay, so arms up, okay, and you're gonna just reach up and rotate. Okay, slowly, if you feel like it, you can start to increase your pace, make the movement a little bit smaller. You could also do a little bit of a, I don't know what we call this, but drop down your weight a little bit so you can use the hands, use the legs as well. Okay, last couple of seconds. So I didn't go very fast that time. Okay, so getting more of a shoulder workout. Okay, so next one, we're gonna go into the hinge. Okay, so you're gonna be bending there, coming up, and then let's practice that first. So hinge, you wanna protect your back, so let's not rush it. Okay, so we're just gonna keep it basic. Okay, so feet shoulder width apart, or hips apart rather. Okay, and we're just gonna go pushing our butt back, but keeping our back straight. Okay, slowly, once again, if you want to, you can try to make this a little bit quicker. Okay, but really make sure that your back is straight throughout. Okay, and back to the marching while I let someone in. Okay, and back to the marching first. Okay, so next one, kind of similar, but we're gonna use more of our arms. So we're gonna just hinge forwards, and you're just gonna alternating pull backwards, but you're gonna keep you're gonna bend forward first. Okay, so more of the arms, less of the lower body. Okay, so it will look something like this, or you can imagine just elbowing someone behind you. Okay, from the front, it looks something like this. And once again, slowly, if you feel like it, you can try to go a little bit quicker, like you're trying to start maybe a lawnmower or a slow board lower. Okay, squeezing the shoulders back. Okay, a couple more seconds. Okay, and back to the marching again. Just double checking how much time we have left in this course, so about 4 minutes. So we might not be completing everything, but let's try anyway. Okay, so the one that will probably get us most of the breath, we're gonna get our hands up, okay, and we're just gonna squat there and just get the weight up a little bit. Okay, so still rest the arms for a second first. Okay, so let's try to bend there, okay, and just go up not too high. Okay, so, and then start to almost try to time the hands so that the momentum from the legs carry through. Okay, so you almost try to push the weight up, more of your legs, then with your arms. Okay, so try to time it a little bit. So this is also working on our power, our speed, which is important to maintain as well. Okay, so spine is getting tight, shoulders probably getting a little tight as well. Okay, so let's do a punching sequence next, I guess. Still working on the quads, shoulders. So we're just going to have the hands up, and we're just going to be punching kind of diagonally forward, and we're going to go into a little bit of a swanning stance as well. Okay, so feet a little wider, brace yourself, okay, and just try to just move from the shoulders, a little bit of the legs. So probably our shoulders probably wouldn't last the last 40 seconds, depending on how much weight you're using. Okay, so if you start a few times, see if you can just go into the squatting again, but try to almost launch the weight up a little bit using the legs. Okay, and down. Okay, so we actually have 2 minutes left. Okay, so let's just do one last one, and then we'll slow down afterwards. Okay, so next one. Okay, let's do the hinging one next. So we're gonna swing back and forth. Okay, and we're pushing our butt back at the same time, and you go try to time it. So then when your hips go forward, the weight goes forward as well. Okay, so this is hinge, but a little faster. So start off once again slow, okay, but see if you can time it so that as your weight goes back, the hips goes back, and vice versa. Okay, as you feel the rhythm, see if you can start to squeeze the butt a little bit harder, and the weight should automatically kind of swing forward a little bit more as well. Okay, and your arms is holding the weight. You're not trying to lift the weight with the arms at all. Okay, and let's drop our weights, and we'll just slow down a little bit. Okay, so we have about a minute left. So let's just slow down. Okay, and we'll just do a couple of breathing practices. Okay, so let's put our hands on the stomach, okay, and just try to take a breath in. Even though we might be still out of breath, see you can still breathe into the belly. Okay, and our feet can be just pushing back and forth. I'm just going to stop the clock so it's not disrupting. And just try to slowly slow down your breath. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. See if you're still holding tension anywhere, and see if you can let that go. Okay, and I think that's all the time we have. So thank you for coming, everyone. Stay safe in this smog.